Hey guys, Sak here from SAKITECH, and in today's video what we are going to do is we are going to be unboxing the Xbox X connected to my TV, look around at the settings and the overall interface here. As you can see, this is just a quick preview of what's to come with the video. So let's dive in and start off with the actual unboxing. Alright, so the Xbox One X has arrived. Here we have it. That's the X series. This one has 1 terabyte. Up to 40K and 120 frames per second, and of course that's the reason I bought it. And of course most games are not going to do that, but there are going to be some games such as Assassins Creed Valhalla that can do 60 frames per second, either at 1080p or 4K. We're going to look at that in a minute after I open this up. So let's unbox it. Okay, on the top we have some stuff. Now on the sides we have this thing here that we have to pull up. So let's pull this. Alright, let's see what's happening in the back here. Alright, so this whole thing just comes off. There are some details here. You can pause this and read that. 4K 120 frames per second, 8K HDR, velocity architecture, and stuff like that. Let's look at the other side here. Okay, we also have the same thing. We have a picture on this side. Let's pull this out. I'm doing this in my kitchen, by the way. Alright, so I'm going to pull that out too. Now let's see how it opens up. And finally on the back, I saw that we have some stuff at the bottom. So let's push this down here. Pull this out. Right here. I pulled that one out as well. Alright, so let's see how this opens up. So the box has to be in this position, and after you take all these 4 things off, tapes, you can actually pull this up just like this, and inside we've got the Xbox. Okay, it's not too big. That's my hand right there. Look at that. It's almost as big as my hand if my hand was a little bit bigger. So I'm going to pull this up here. Okay, put this aside. It is inside a little cloth here. So let me lift this up. I'm going to put the camera away for 1 second and lift this up real quick. Alright, so there it is. Okay, that's the Xbox X series. Look at the top over here. We got this nice color shift on the top. That's the whole thing, as you can see. We've got that USB port, the power button, a little light right over here. The place where I can put a CD inside. Okay, on the back, let's see what we have. We have the more USB ports. We've got the storage expansion bay, HDMI out, the power right here. That's where the power is going to plug in. Ethernet, and again 2 USBs. Okay, and that should be it basically. That's just for airflow. On this side, we have nothing. Actually, what's that? Okay, just a symbol. And then on this side here, this is the front side. We are going to be powering that up in a second. Now going back over here, well, where's the controller? So we have a little booklet here. Okay, that's what we have. Looks like it takes a battery. Let's pull this out over here. That's where the controller is it. What else we have? Nothing else on this side. Perfect. We do have a cable that's an HDMI to HDMI. That's great to get you started. Okay, don't have to go out and buy one of those. That's for the power. Okay, that's going to go to the back that I showed you guys, and that's going to go to the wall, and that's it. All right, so let's look at the controller here. Let's pull this guy out. I'll tell you one thing, it does not look as fancy as the PlayStation 5 controller, but it feels really good in the hand. We got all these buttons here as usual. More buttons here. That's where the batteries go. Okay, so that's the controller. So let me take this to the living room and hook this up and start up for the very first time and see what's happening. And of course I do want to let you know that you do get the batteries to put into the controller, the Xbox controller. You don't have to go out there and buy these. Slightly more refined and futuristic than the previous Xbox controller. Once we turn on the Xbox, this is the button you're going to press to pair the controller with the Xbox. I did connect the cables. That's the HDMI cable. That's the power cable. As you can see, I attached the HDMI cable in here on the back of the Xbox. And of course, we have the power cable on the back here as well. And that's all you need to get you started. All right, so for now I put the Xbox right here. That's where my TV is. Everything is connected. I've got my controller right here. Okay, so let's see what happens if I just press this button here. Nothing, so we do have to turn on the Xbox. Let's look for the power button. That looks like it. There we go. Okay, so the Xbox is on. That's the top part here. It should read the signal in a second. Okay, there we go. Xbox coming right up. Nice sounds. So that's the very first thing that came up. It says I can set this up with the Xbox application from the App Store or the Play Store, or I can click the button on the controller to skip. Okay, as you can see at the bottom corner, I can skip this or just set this up with the actual application, which I'm gonna do right now. Let me grab the phone and set this up. Once you download the Xbox application on your smartphone, all you do is download the Xbox app, sign into it, and then put this code into the Xbox application. That's all. I'm going to do that behind the scenes so this can get started right away. The setup is complete. It's going to say connected and you are good to go. Continue setup on your phone. That's going to be a very easy process. During the setup process, it was even updating the controller. So the controller gets to get updated every now and then. What's funny is it wants you to keep the controller motionless and turned on while it is applying the update. Alright, so the setup process was very easy. We're inside. Here's the whole thing. Okay, so we have the Xbox Game Pass, which I signed up for. We have the store. This is where you go to buy games if you want to buy some games. Okay, I'm going to be buying the top games. This one is supposed to be free. Well, okay, these are top free games, but I'm going to be buying the top new games, most likely Valhalla in a minute. And then if I go back out to the store, Xbox Assist, got the Xbox accessories, community, events. All right, that's the settings right there. Okay, general, account, system settings. You can do updates from here. Device and control setup here. Preferences, ease of access. That's the accessibility probably. But this is cool. You can also do personalization over here. Okay, customize profile, color and background. I can do all that stuff if I want. Let's see what happens if I go for this color here. Click OK, go back out. Okay, so not bad. And then at the bottom we have things in a little bit more detail, but that's it. Okay, the biggest thing of course is to play actual games, which we are going to be doing in a minute. Just so I can give you a quick understanding of what to expect from the actual performance with the Xbox X. Because I bought this requiring 60 frames per second on most games. Alright, so I just went into the store and I got the Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Okay, so let's just click on check install progress. Looks like it is in fact downloading. That's a 47 gigabyte game. It's going to take a while to download. I'll be right back. Alright, so here's the game finally. And as you can see, now you may not be able to see it, but as I'm playing this, this is running at 60 frames per second. Okay, I'm not getting that 30 frames per second stutter. Let's continue here just a couple of minutes just to give you guys an idea. Alright, so I'm not going to spoil the game for anybody, but I'll let you know I'm outside here playing the game. And it feels like I'm playing this on a computer at 60 frames per second. There's no stutter here. This is not 30 frames per second. I'm moving the character around. There's a lot of activity going on here. Let's go towards the sea. Okay. And like I said, I'm not going to spoil the actual game. But there's a lot of stuff going on here. We got the water, the mountains. Look at the smoke. Normally under these conditions, games start to stutter a little bit. With this one, it is not. So let me keep going a little bit more. Crouch. Very satisfied with this game and the performance. I bought the Xbox X to make sure that sometimes I just want to sit in the sitting room and not use my PC in my office to play a game. And this is going to allow me to do that as I am having 60 frames per second. Okay? So this video is recorded at 60 FPS also, by the way, so you can see that there's no stutter. Perfect. I mean, there might be a stutter here and there, a few dropped frames, but overall, this is very satisfactory. Okay, so like I said, I'm not going to spoil the game, so I'm going to end this video here. I just want to let you know the performance is, at least for this game here, which is a highly graphical open world large game, satisfactory. It's 60 frames per second right now. Might be a few drop frames down to maybe 59, 58, but so much better than what it used to be on the previous Xbox with the 30s and 27s and 25s with demanding games. This is the best, okay? So I would recommend that somebody that is into gaming buy this console.